Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. I'm a little excited because I just read some interesting news from Nikon. Tetsuro Go2, I hope I said that right. I'm terrible with non-English names. Nikon R&D General Manager has indicated that there is a Nikon full-frame mirrorless camera in production and in development. I shouldn't say in production, but in development and coming, hopefully soon. The course of the interview indicated he was saying that full frame was the way to go, that they definitely wanted to develop a mirrorless system for the advantages of size and weight, and that full frame was the way to go. That's where they feel the market is and the competition is, and certainly looking at Sony, we can understand that. The article discussed a little bit about what would fit on here for lenses. It's probably going to require a whole new lens mount and a whole new line of lenses, although they did have the caveat that probably some F lenses would fit, probably the newer ones like AFS and AFP and things like that, and just basically because of the distances from the flange mount to the camera body and whatnot. I mean, that's always been the case with a lot of mirrorless stuff. Is that that's a big consideration in why some lenses can't even be adapted. Probably more so Nikon stuff in that sense. But here we have Nikon possibly on the forefront of this. And, you know, some people have said late to the party, maybe too late. If Nikon's to come out with a full-frame mirrorless system, especially a full-frame professional system. But there's a whole other argument that says that may not be the case. Sometimes it's better to sit back and let other people flush the market out, do some R&D, come out with a new product, see how the response is, see what works and what doesn't, where they hit it out of the park, where they fail, see what the buyers are saying, what the initial users are saying, and then you take all that information and you build an amazing, mature product. And that's what Nikon's opportunity is right now if they're to come into this marketplace for a mirrorless camera. They're saying that it's going to probably draw on something reminiscent of, say, a Nikon S2, one of their older bodies, similar to the way that the DF came out and it looked retro, like what Fuji's done with their beautiful line of cameras. I mean, the X-T2 is gorgeous, the X Pro 2, the X-T20, I love the Fuji lineup. So it'll be interesting to see what Nikon does here. And you may have something that looks a little retro, but also kind of that new retro look. Could they have the opportunity here to make a really slick looking camera as well as a very slick performing camera, smaller, lighter, the excitement of a whole new lens mount system, which actually could pave the way for much higher resolution lenses if this is the way Canon's going, or Nikon, I should say, is going as far as mirrorless systems. Maybe this is the beginning of the end of DSLRs. Very interesting to hear official word from the Nikon R&D manager. What do you guys think? What do you want to see in a Nikon mirrorless system? I mean, you could imagine that if they're going to bring these out, I don't know what the first one will be, but you could have potentially all across the line mirrorless. You could have a D850 equivalent in mirrorless, so a 46 megapixel. You could have like a low light beast like the D5, so something in 20 megapixels or something that's really good in low light but lower resolution. You could have APS-C, something like the D500, but in a pro-style APS-C mirrorless. And then you could bring it right down the line into, like a D50-600 update that's actually a mirrorless 24-megapixel APS-C. So, what would you guys like to see? What would you like to see in the first one? Do you think it should be high megapixel, low megapixel? Is there any challenges you see in Nikon doing this? Does it bother you if they're bringing in a new lens system? Maybe they could bring in a new lens system and invent some type of special adapter that would allow most of the older lenses to work with the adapter, even if it cost a fair bit. That would be interesting. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Let's discuss it a little. Nikon mirrorless full-frame system. Interesting. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon here at artoftheimage.com.